Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Quoth Raven. Blue Sprite Raven. Now we got it right. My co-host Chris Hall was here a moment ago, but he just got new tech, and for some reason he can't hear me now. So he's bowed out until we can figure out what's going on. If he manages to make it, and we can test it after the show or maybe during the show, we'll see. But hopefully he can figure out what's going on. It's Tuesday night. That means it's crowdfunding night and independence and print on demand and stuff like that. Top discussion. And we've got two cool things over here to my left to be unboxed. So let's get right on to it. Our first book comes from Bounce House Books out of I think is MA Maine or Massachusetts? I don't know for sure. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Got a Gemini mailer here. They've sealed it good and tight with the tape here. There we go. It's Bounce House. That means it's from Tony McMillan. Let's see what he gave us. This is Lumen, or Destroying Angel Lumen. It's probably stuck to the back. There we go. Yes, Destroying Angel Lumen number 2. That looks like it's going to be a fun read if issue 1 was any indication. And now I don't have to get a new bag because the tape he stuck to the back of the board in here to make sure it stuck and stayed in place on a Gemini kind of warps the bag a little bit when you take it off. That's okay, no big deal. Looks good. These are a little bit thicker, so you'll see that the flatness of the book isn't quite there. That's a printer thing. I wish they'd do a little more, make it sure a little bit more flat on the fold. But you know, it is a saddle stitch, and it is a thicker comic. I think it's 48 to 64 pages. So it should be good, though. I'll look forward to reading this and reviewing it next week. Again, this is Destroying Angel Lumen number 2. Now for the big prize, shall we say. I gotta move my keyboard out of the way so I can get this box. Yes, nobody freaking cares. That's why nobody's watching the show. Here's our box. I'm just going to open this one relatively easy. Move my cup over here. Lots of bag. Or, yeah, get that under the, there we go. All right. Lots of plastic bags to get through here. What is in here? My goodness. Okay. What do we got here? It's from Quarter Master Logistics. Packaged by your friends at Quartermaster Logistics. If something you're missing, let us know. Always good to have that. This is On Mars. Okay. There's some prints here and a coin. There's some of the prints. Look at this. There's some of the prints. And on the back, There's a coin and some other goodies in there. Let's see. This open, or do I have to cut it open? It should tear open, but there we go. Maybe. The sticker likes to stick, which is good. Okay, what all we got in this little thing here? We got some prints. Is it one or multiple? I can't tell. I'm not sure. I am unsure here. I don't want to try and open something yet. I'll come back to this. There's more cool stuff in here. Let's go ahead and get the cool stuff out. We have On Mars by Sylvain Runberg and Groom. On Mars, a New World graphic novel from Magnetic Press. $29.99 hardcover. The year is 2132, and Jasmine Stanford is sent to Mars, sentenced to forced labor in a growing colony construction program that hopes to rise from the ashes from a resource-depleted Earth. As a former law enforcer found guilty of unfortunate circumstances, she can't imagine the nightmare that awaits her on the Red Planet. The future of humanity rests on the shoulders of a handful of scientists and a whole lot of criminals. Sounds like a pretty cool idea to me. We'll take a quick look at it inside in a little bit. There's another book in here. And that is On Mars, Designing Mars. This is their, I guess what you would call their process book. And it gives a lot of the cool illustrative work in black and white pencils and stuff like that. And I love these kind of books. Good hardcover edition. It was a $25 book on its own. A little bit, it's not as thick as the actual story for obvious reasons. There's some of the artwork for it. In fact, let me go ahead and get this box out of the way now that I've got everything out of it. Be a lot easier to show you guys. And by the way, Chris, this is the box we're going to use to pack your goodies in next. But anyway, here is On Mars. Let me go ahead and readjust the camera. This again is the Designing Mars process book. Let's see the pencil illustration for the cover. Just really nice stuff to look at. Really like looking at this kind of material. There's a lot of watercolor process here. And pencil illustrations in this process book. And Chris is in the chat now. What was going on with your tech, buddy? Have you figured it out at all yet? What might be going on with that thing? More pencil illustrations, character sketches, face sketches. Kind of looks almost like a the Matrix tech going after with the little tentacles and everything. Just really beautiful stuff to just have fun to look at. Inspiring stuff that I'm gonna probably have to look at some of this stuff extensively. Ooh, that's a nice page. Yeah, you got 2 kids. You know, not very many comic artists can draw children well, and that's a really good drawing. That's impressive. He says he thinks he needs to loop his new board back into his headphone input. That could be. This is almost like a diary now. When you get to part 2, it says week 1, and it's like a little diary. My week in hell, or my I've been in hell this past week, or whatever. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I'm liking this. Good illustrations of, you got animal illustrations of rats. You got, illustrations of medicines. That, these are things that, normal people just don't think about drawing too much, I guess. When you're thinking superhero comics or other types of comics, you don't think about the basic stuff that you need to be able to do as a comic illustrator. And I like that. He's, done the world building and thought about these things. Um, how things are supposed to look. And he talks about what the character was going through for each week in there. So this is really good stuff. And I don't know how long this took them to make. But yeah, gorgeous stuff here. So very happy with the process book. Let's take a little bit of a closer look of the actual storybook here. Bird. Oh, you just like to pick on Burn, don't you? Oh, Lord. But yeah, cool looking design there. Is she wearing clothes? Yeah, okay. They're kind of doing some medical changes to her as a criminal, marking her. And no, she's not naked in that. I checked before I put it up. But, yeah. Because I guess it's all for surgery on the face and stuff. So really nice. The colors are maybe a little drab, but then again, they kind of should be if you're on a desert planet. I guess maybe you're going to be working on terraforming it or something. You're going to have a lot of oranges and browns, I guess. But he does differentiate when you're in outer space with the ship and the atmosphere and stuff. So I think it's so okay so far. but as you can kind of see, it's pretty consistent in how they look. I personally would not have them in brown suits on a brown planet for obvious reasons. But then, hey, next page, there you go. You got different colored suits, so and different things. So, it's there. They're thinking. Let me see what I think of the lettering on this one. Okay, yeah, lettering's all right. A little bit bigger than what was in the lettering on Frontier yesterday. Let me see who did the lettering and design on this. If it says it's probably the same person, Chris Northrup, I would think. It says translation by Dan. Yep, lettering and layout by Chris Northrup. So it's the same people. So, interesting that this one came out a little bit better, a little more readable. But then again, it seems like the pages on this one feel a little bit more of a page than Frontier did. There seems to be a little more open space on Frontier. These are kind of like really tight border edge, which might mean you got a wider lettering base too. So that looks good. Mm-hmm. I look forward to reading this and giving my feedback on it. Ooh, what's this? Oh, this is neat. You actually have a fold-out map in the back of the book of the terrain that they're covering. Okay. That's different. Oh, okay. Let me make sure I get that folded in right. There we go. Wasn't expecting that. Yes, the colors are, he goes, the colors are very European, and they should be. It's I can't remember if they're German or French, but it's one or the other. But yeah, and I like that kind of European look in the colors myself. So very pleased with this. I look forward to reading this, and of course, the other one, of course, we already looked at briefly, was Destroying Angel Lumen. So we'll be looking at both of these next week for our reviews, or all three books. Actually, I'm going to review all three. Now let's take a quick look at the rest of that package. We got a coin here. If it'll open. Okay. This is interesting. It's got the planet and a building, and then the edge, and then the coin has a kind of like a gear edge to it. And it's the same on both sides. Very interesting. But that's kind of an interesting thing to add to it. I'll have to, I'm sure there'll be some sort of context in the story with it. So when I figure out what that is, I'll let you guys know. I like their package for the plastic. It's got a little belt loop in there that you can slide your back slat into, so it stays in the package really well. Let's see what else they have. You have your identity card. It's not really There we go. Back of the card. Interesting. And I guess you've got a sticker here that says conscripted, expires a certain date, and has a barcode type thing that has to do with your identity as well for this context of the story. Pretty cool. Let's see. We know we got where is my X-Acto knife? There it is. I don't want to damage anything. Can't tell. Can't tell if this is a plate or just one of multiple plates or what. And I hate to take it out of the plastic, but it's pretty well shrink wrapped. I mean, this sucker is tight shrink wrapped. Look, it's on the back of a there. Maybe I got it now. Yeah, I got it now. Start with the corner. Okay, it's multiple. It's multiples. Okay. All right. We got a slip here. A little plastic band slip. Got to take it very carefully. Interesting here. What is Chris saying here? Chris Norton's a great person. Okay. There are this print. That looks cool. And then there's a couple more prints. Alrighty. That's pretty neat. I like that. I would have probably put them all up front like this. I like it. And okay, I will do that if I can get it back on now. Good luck with that, sir. But yeah, it doesn't want to go back on. I'm not surprised. That's probably why it was so difficult to get open in the first place. That's okay. Okay, midnight. There it is. You see? Yeah, you don't want no, you don't want that. He's like, what you got? Nope, they ain't gonna go on. I'm not gonna bend it, so I'm just gonna be happy with this as is. I'll play with it a little bit later, figure out how to do that. But yeah, that's what we got in the mail for unboxing this week. Very pleased with all of it. Looking forward to reviewing all of it. Let's go ahead and get this stuff over to the side. Move this over so I don't have as much glare from the light. Sorry about that, folks. I was just trying to see what I was doing. Okay, now we got some other things we're going to visit tonight. We're going to go and shop the independent online bookstore lulu.com and see what they got in graphic novels. This is the page 1, and there's 10,000. There's like 1 to 10 of 10,000, so there's like 1,000 pages of stuff you can look at. There's print books of over 16,800. Supposedly, there's ebooks, over almost 8,000 ebooks you can download as well. All kinds of cool stuff. Over 1,000 new releases in the last 90 days, almost 300 in the last 30 days to look at. So, and they range anywhere, let's see, anywhere from under $6 to 6 to 16, quite a few, a variety of ranges. Just a second. The Midnight Monster wants to be on the screen. Come here. What are you doing? What you doing? Here he is. Here he is, everybody. He wants to be on the screen, so we're going to put him on the screen. Here he is. Here I am. Gotta love me. Gotta love me. What you want? What do you want? Oh, I know what the problem is. Okay. Yeah. The box that stuff came in, I just put it over his bed. And that's why he's upset, because he can't sleep in his bed with the box on top of it. He's wondering he didn't just climb in the box, but that's a cat thing to do, but he did not. He's like, I don't want that box there. So I will move the box. Okay, now you've got the kitty spot for you. Okay. That go over here. Alrighty. Let's go back to looking at this. I just literally opened to the front page, so I don't really know what all they're showing here. A lot of different ideas, I guess. Let me go to the bottom here and see if it'll do more. Yeah, let's do 50 items a page. That would be better. Okay, we got the Bodacious Best of Snuffy Smith, a Barney Google and Snuffy Smith collection. That looks like I don't know. Let's see what that is real quick here. I don't know. That's interesting. They don't really show much about it, so I'm not gonna share it. Okay. Let's see if they do anything on this one, because it's been a while since I've looked at Lulu. I've seen Hemlock before. That's okay. It's not my thing, but it's okay. The Bundle of Trouble, of course, is the Knights of here. Knights of the Dinner Table. That's what I was trying to think of. And this is a compilation from issues 191 to 194 of the monthly magazine. So you get 3 books, 120 pages, black and white. for, what was it? What do they want for it? Doesn't say. That's odd. Usually, there it is, $15.99. Okay. I don't like that right there. I'm going to put it over here where it belongs. But that's me. Let's see. Polymorph, Tricky Earbuds, Toaster Brains, Letter Bundle of Trouble. I don't know if Chris can. No, he can't. That's right. Never mind. How would I know if I'm just looking, and I mean, there's certain things that kind of grab my attention. The House Next Door, 1995. Okay, this was printed in 2017. I would like to see more of it. $20 for a 68-page book isn't too bad. But I'd like to see more than just a cover. I wish that Lulu used to give you at least the first 2-3 pages of a book. I don't know if they just stopped doing that. It's been a while since I've been over here, because it does look like a new layout from the last time I was over here. Anybody watching who's familiar with this one, let me know. Back to the House Next Door, Mars and Jupiter, the pilot. That's in. What you gonna get? That's an ebook. If it wasn't an ebook, I might be interested. There's a lot more adult-oriented type books on this one than there are on Indie Planet or Amazon, POD. They're a little more open-minded, I guess you could say, in that regard. If you're looking for that type of material. Do you see anything that grabbed your attention, Chris? Let me know in the chat. Some of these I know are also over in Indie Planet as well. So if you see something on Lulu and you can't find like extra pages for interiors or something, go over to Indie Planet, look for the same thing. You may find it over there. Clarissa Edmonds, old school hottie. Clarissa isn't the girl she used to be. That's because she didn't used to be a girl. Until yesterday, Clarissa Edmonds was a 40-year-old man named Harold Jenkins. But now, thanks to some magic, he's a cute teenage girl for the rest of his new life. Oh my. Oh dear. That's something else. Like I said, they do some interesting things, but I hate to say this, but if she's supposed to be a cute teenage girl, she doesn't look it on the cover there. She looks like a 40-year-old woman, not a teenager, but that's okay. Just the idea of it was hilarious. Oh, lordy. Retail. The curse word. Chris knows what I'm talking about. This is bogus, so bogus my head hurts. This is probably the daily. Yes, it is a daily comic strip where you talk about the daily events at a department store. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It collects the original um, every strip from 2006, which is the year it debuted. So yeah, if you remember that uh, particular comic strip from back in the day, um, that's what this is. That might be worth your time. And of course, Snuffy Smith is the King Features comic strip. So if you guys don't know what that is, that's the comic strip by John Rose. This collects his favorite Sunday scripts from 2004 through 2017. 200 pages for $20. Not bad. Not bad at all. Again, this is black and white. Perfect bound. Trade paperback. Uh, of course, if it is black and white, you're kind of missing the point because Sunday Best is supposed to be the color comics, as far as I remembered. But you know, I don't know. We'll take a look at some other stuff as well, another channel as well tonight. I think a lot of people are not as thrilled about Lulu as others, but I do find if they that there are some really good ones, some really good gems in the list if you come hunting for them. Um, I know at one time the George Perez fanzine um, was regularly through Lulu, so I don't know if it's still there or not. But if you ever read Pace Setter by for the George Perez fanzine book, but that's you should be able to find that here unless they took them off. Let's see, Super Crew, that's interesting. What's that one? How many pages? Not nope, too short for the price. Okay. I understand why they cost as much as they do, but just Hazelton has so much stuff here. I wonder how much money he ever made off this stuff. Game Over, Hubris. Um, um, yeah, it's too short. Some of these books are just too short for the price they're charging. I don't see $15 for 32 pages or $10 for 24 pages after these as much. I mean, it's one thing if it's like a major professional doing it on a Kickstarter or something, but on demand by people who aren't really names, I don't see it. Um, hmm. Okay, it's in French. All right. French manga again. This is a Dirty Cosmos Starfire. So they're like Chris was telling me yesterday when I was talking about Frontier by Guillaume Singelin, that there was others, a lot of other stuff out there. Here's a good example. So again, I would love to see some more actual pages being shown on Lulu, but they're not. So they're probably hurting their own business by not doing that. Because I certainly would. There's stuff here I'm seeing that I would be interested in looking at, but you can't go just by a cover necessarily. You have, unless you know the person doing the work and you know what to expect. So, oh my goodness, what's the matter? Did you guys hear him crying? He's being a bit of a butt tonight. I don't know what his problem is, other than he wants to get back up in my lap. He's just having a maybe he's just having a bad night. He just wants some attention. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a little bit perplexed. Usually when I've shopped Lulu, there's better presentation. I don't know why they seem to have lost some of their stuff. Maybe I'm in the wrong. There's a wrong channel or something. I don't know. Very strange, because I remember seeing multiple pages of sampler pages that you can see, and I don't see it now. Very weird. Okay, let's go ahead and close that. That was my channel starting up on YouTube separately. Let's instead go to the other channel. We're going to look at Zoop. Okay. We're on Zoop. Haunted Girl, exclusive extended editions, was originally released through Image and Stizzy Jiggy Publishing or whatever. This is a hardcover edition that contains all new behind the scenes features and some other stuff written by Ethan Sachs and his daughter Naomi Sachs, and Marco Lorenzana was the artist. This is part of the proceeds for this book get donated to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They've got 18 supporters looking for 7,500. They've got 1,674 so far. Let's see if they've got any. I mean, you can get stuff cool. 15 variant issues. There's other things you can get. Zoom call with them for $75. Just different things that Ethan Sachs has done work on. You can get different books. I would like to have seen a little more of the actual interior books. Let's see. Rewards. Yeah, I would definitely have preferred to see some project sample of the interior art on this, because I did not see this book in the stores when it was coming out from Image offhand. But that's okay. It is what it is. Let's see. I see more. Okay, here. Well, it doesn't really blow it up, unfortunately. Let me see if I can. I'm not really getting a good enough sampler to see the art enough. Ah, here we go. Finally, all the way down after all this stuff. um, okay, doesn't look bad. Different nightmares, different things going on. Interesting. Okay, that might be worth your time. Um, let me go ahead and reset back to 100 there. That wasn't too bad. If again, she's dealing with real life terror versus her anxiety and depression, so it should be interesting. Maybe I'll look at this again. Let's go ahead and take a back at the campaigns again. Shinku Complete by Ron Mars and Lee Moder. Two days left. They have surpassed their goal. They're at 59.69 out of 5,000. Of course, Lee is no longer with us. He passed away 2 years ago. And there was 2 additional issues of Shinku, some other stuff. So this is the completed collection of everything that was done with the series. And as I recall, I backed this. So I'll let you guys know what I think of it when I get it. A lot of coming soons, as you can see. They don't have a whole lot of them out yet. I'm not sure why that is. But that is what seems to be going on with Zoop right now. Let me see what's going on with the store. You can get Axe Wielder John, Resolution, the College for Ukraine, with different covers. This is an actual. Wow, that's an Art Adams cover, folks. I guess that's supposed to be Putin as a kaiju type monster entity, which would make sense. Now I guess Art has to do one of Trump and have American people and MAGA people and stuff like that. The country in flames and do this, just kind of flip it around or something. I don't know. But yeah, that would be wouldn't be surprised if he did it. But yeah, okay. Let's see some of the interior art. Ooh, this has some Walt Simonson in it there. That's some Star Slammer stuff there, folks. That's cool. What else they got? All right. There's Arthur Adams, Brent Anderson, Sergio Aragonés, June Brigman, Kurt Busiek, Howard Chaykin, Colleen Dorn. I think that was one of the artists that we just saw. Pia Guerra, Rob Guillory, Greg Hildebrandt, Dave Johnson, Joe Jusco, John Layman, Winsner's in there. Alex Ross is in there. Liam Sharp, Sienkiewicz is in there. Jill Thompson, Blake Tucci, Matt Wagner. Pretty good list of people to get the book. That might be worth your time to get that. That's $40. Okay, 128-page book. Okay, it's got Astro City, Chew, Star Slammers, American Flag, Usagi Jimbo, Matt Brendel, Gru, Scary Godmother, The Rocketeer, The Cowling Door and Pieces of Flowers of Kiev. Okay. Yeah, lots of cool stuff in here. Definitely worth considering. I will have to come back to that one. What else they got? You can get it signed by Arthur Adams for 60. The Thunder Hunters, that's Mark A. Nelson. Okay, that's cool. Whistling Skull. Okay, that's a good one. Age of Canaan by Nir Levy. Okay. Time Dog and Other Atomic Fairy Tales. Oh, the Nightcrawlers. This one's actually signed by Marco Lopez and Rachel Distler. Um, I don't know if this is the Ablaze version or a different version. I reviewed this a couple of months ago, actually, on the show. Good book. So for $25 for a signed edition, not bad. I think the book was like 15, and if it's signed by both of them, that's reasonable. Let Her Be Evil. Okay, that's a different one. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting there. Again, the coming soons. I'm interested in seeing what they come up with. Richard Pace Coven book that should look pretty cool. Perish by Brian Jones and Josh Wood. Okay. Watch Me. Steve Musgrave doing Fangirls should be funny. Return of the Monsters by Shannon Eric Deaton and let's see, John Caboynes. Okay, yeah, that might be worth revisiting. We'll have to come back and check on that. Let's see, Drawing a Line Somewhere. That's a Casada book. If you're interested in Casada, that might be worth your time. Loot is like a cartoonish version of female Indiana Jones. Atmos Exordium, Tommy Lee Edwards. Haven't seen him in a while. That might be worth your time. We'll come back and revisit that. Let's see, what else? Everything's coming soon. What happened to all the stuff that they used to have on here? I think a lot of these people are actually using Kickstarter or Indiegogo as their primary, and Zoop's their backup, because like Ruby here, I know I've seen that over on Kickstarter somewhere before, so I don't know. That's interesting. Paradox, okay. Yeah, this is interesting, but there should be more than just this. Let me go back to Zoop. No, I want to go straight to the home page. It's not letting me. Here. No, that's not it. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Usually they have more than just this. I'm surprised. There. If it already funded and see if that makes a difference. Or better yet, let me do it this way. Campaigns. All right, now we're getting a little bit more. We got Squid Williams, V. Gigante, which was already funded. Cocktails and Cures by Stefan Rowe. Yeah, here's one. Skull. See, I was thinking about where was Skull Kickers for one thing. Let's see where that is. We know you're funded. When did that actually come out? That 9387 out of 6,000. So okay, this is interesting. All right, now what are you doing, monster? Hi, what's the matter, baby? Want to get down? You want to get down? No. You want to change positions and lay down. All right. Crazy kitty. I can't work the keyboard and the modem with you where you're at. I know, that's why I did that. That's what he's telling me. Because I'm going to be the center of attention. Oh, you silly cat. Okay, that's enough. Come on. Thank you. Alrighty. Let's see here. Here we go. Here's some more. Wraith Vermilion, which, okay, Voidwalker, right? That's what I was looking for, was all these ones that were kind of already funded. I was like, what happened to them? Because they were not funded just a couple weeks ago. So I guess these come over really fast. So there's a lot of cool stuff. I don't know if these guys allow you to back the book that's already been funded. I've never tried to do that before. Let's see. I don't know if you can or not. I don't think you can. Yeah, it doesn't let you do that. Okay. Yeah, it just does that. Okay. All right. Okay, that's a bummer. All right. Okay. Okay, I've been on for an hour now, and the main thing was to show you the cool stuff we got in unboxings, and hopefully Chris will be back in a little bit. We'll maybe be on a little bit later once we figure out what's going on with his new board. He just got a new soundboard, and they hooked it up, and we went to go online. He couldn't hear me. His headphones weren't working. Kind of typical. But anyway, Thursday is when we'll be back next. And we'll be joined again by Jovial John Norris, our third person of our Titanic trio. And we'll be reviewing Raised by Ghosts, Mouse Guard, Legend of the Black Ass #2, Jump Scare #3, Galaxy of Madness #9. Hopefully, these books are all going to come in. I don't know with Diamond. Vanishing Point #1 debuts this week. We're definitely going to do Station Grand and Dawn Runner and Raised by Ghosts. So I've got those. I've also got Minor Arcana, so those will definitely be done. Let This One Be a Devil. I think it's #3, if I'm not mistaken. And John's going to be bringing, I don't know if he's doing Metamorpho #5 or if he's doing some Marvel books. He's going to surprise us, hopefully. I got to get a hold of him and find out what he's actually going to send me reviews for so I can get them ready for Thursday. But that's what we're going to be doing this Thursday. And then on Friday, we'll be visiting the DC Movie Vault, and we'll be visiting DC again for Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham, which is based on the Mike Mignola Batman story. So that ought to be fun to watch. And then this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, maybe even both, we'll have live draw. So we'll be bringing back the live draw, and I'll be drawing some cool stuff up for you guys. So make sure you're here for that this weekend as well. Okay? So thanks for watching, and I'm sorry if we didn't have more on the Lulu.com. I hadn't been there in a while. I was expecting a little bit better presentation from them than what I'd seen recently. Might not go back there anymore because of that, but we'll see. Yeah, and Zoop, I was a little bit surprised that I knew that they had a round of finished books that funded, but I thought they had more than what they did for currently available. So I apologize for not having as good a show as I normally do on Tuesdays for that purpose. But hopefully we'll make up for it on Thursday. Okay. Until then, you guys have a great week and find some good books for yourselves tomorrow on Free Comic Book Day. Want to reach out to me? Facebook, Louis.BrightRaven. At the Muskrat X channel, at LewisBrightRaven2. See my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Louis Bright Raven, exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, some suggestions on some books you want us to review, Quoth the Raven, LBR72 at gmail.com. And I'll get back to you there. Try Louis Bright Raven at yahoo.com. That's all for this time. See you on Thursday. Quoth the Raven, nevermore.